Hi, boys and girls. This is our Bible lesson for this week. It's lesson 33 for April 27th. It's singing in prison. Paul and his friends traveled to different places to tell people about Jesus. One day, Paul and his friend Silas went to a city named Philippi and told people about the Lord. But some of the people in Philippi didn't like hearing about Jesus. Several men there were very angry. "These men who talk about Jesus cause trouble," the angry men shouted. They told lies about Paul and Silas to the city leaders. The leaders decided that Paul and Silas had done something wrong. So they had Paul and Silas beaten with whips and thrown into prison. The prison keeper chained them and locked their feet between pieces of wood that held their legs tightly. Paul and Silas could hardly move. They must have hurt all over. But they didn't get mad at the prison keeper or the angry men. They prayed and thanked God. They knew God cared about them. They knew God knew where they were. Then Paul and Silas started singing praises to God. Their songs got louder and louder. Just like when we sing Psalm 34, "I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise will be in my mouth." Soon all the other prisoners could hear. They could hear them, and they were listening to what they were singing. They were singing songs about God. Even though Paul and Silas couldn't move, they could still sing. Then all of a sudden, the ground began to shake. It was an earthquake. Everything shook harder and harder. Suddenly, the prison doors popped open. The locks broke. The chains fell off the prisoners. All of the prisoners were freed. The prison keeper was afraid the prisoners would run away. But Paul called out, "Don't do yourself any harm. We are all here." The prison keeper came running into the cell where Paul and Silas were, and he bowed and he said, "What must I do to be saved?" And Paul and Silas said, "Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved." Oh, the prison keeper was so happy. He took Paul and Silas to his own house. He bathed them. He dressed their wounds, and the prison keeper's whole family got to hear about the Lord. They took care of Paul and Silas, and they celebrated. In the morning, the leaders of the city told Paul and Silas that they were free to leave. Paul and Silas started walking to a new town. It was time to tell more people about the Lord. Paul and Silas told others about Jesus by talking, preaching, praying, and singing. Many people heard God's good news about Jesus.